Good afternoon. Today I'm going to read to you 1 Corinthians 13, and then I will share about my love story with King Jesus Christ. I'm sure you will love it. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. I love this verse. I know I'm not the only one, because this verse is sometimes read at weddings, and people who are being cancelled, who love each other, they sometimes have pastors read these verses, the scripture to them. I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I want to talk about my relationship with King Jesus Christ, how we met, how we fell in love, and how we got married. Right. I can start from the beginning. The beginning is at the beginning. When there was creation, we were created, King Jesus Christ and I, and we loved each other very much. We used to talk about our skin. He was looking very beautiful because it had been made very beautifully with precious stones. And I would say, I'm brown. I also love the way I look brown. And yeah, we were very happy together. So we used to compare the way we looked. He looked very beautifully with his precious stones that made him look very handsome and more than white and glorious. And I was made with brown skin. I was made with mud, brown mud. So we're happy together. And then there was Adam and Eve, who were created after us, but we were created as angels. And then we lived together, and we lived with Jehovah. Jehovah used to train me, used to teach me songs. So I'd write songs. And later on, as I'd grown a bit older, I started singing these songs in the church in heaven. So King Jesus Christ was still there. He would help me a little bit with the songs as well, and just to help me perfect my tunes and things like that. He would just help me out a little bit more. And And the whole church also used to help me because I used to lead them. They would help me to tell me how they felt about the praise and worship. So it was beautiful. Then we were sent. Okay, I became a queen and I got married to King Jesus Christ. And then yeah, it was a wonderful time. We were happy together, very happy together. And we had our child, Kamoma. She was a princess, but she wasn't my real child at that time. She she was another woman's child because at that time King Jesus Christ had got married to somebody else, and then she died in labor, so I married him afterwards, and I adopted Kamomile, and she was my daughter, and she loved me very much because I'm the only mother she knew, and I loved her very much as well. So after that, we I died, and King Jesus Christ resurrected me, and then I died in a not very nice way. It was very nasty because I think some people sabotaged me, and they accused me of witchcraft, which I didn't do because they didn't understand the way I prayed for people. I think they were just fallen people that no longer understood Christianity, and they burned my body. And King Jesus Christ managed to save me when he arrived, and he saw my body not yet completely burnt, so he let me be buried. And when after I'd been buried, he resurrected me. He called my name, and I was resurrected from the grave. So I had been buried in a grave. So I was resurrected from the grave. And then we went to America. Coming to America. We went to America as angels, and we are the first people who built America. And it was not easy. We lost some angels as we were building America, so we called it a miracle, and we called the area Los Angeles, and then Los Angeles, and then we stayed in America for a long time with our Father Jehovah. We were happy together, and we were very, very happy together. Our father was rich and powerful, and he had a church of his own, which we had at our ranch. So we're happy at our ranch with our father, the three of us, and we had some servants. We had some servants as well that looked after us and took care of us. We treated them, Jehovah treated them very fairly, and King Jesus Christ and even me, we loved them all. And Jehovah had to go back to heaven. So he left us, and we decided with the king, because the king wanted me to stay with him, but I told him I wanted to get married to somebody else because on earth he was just like my brother. So I told him I wanted to get married and have children on earth. He was disappointed when I left him, but I had to leave him because I wanted to have children. So I left him, and I had struggled with my boyfriends. We're not happy together with my boyfriends, and I was missing King Jesus Christ because he's the one who used to comfort me, and he's the one I used to be very happy with. And then we went. I went. I got a number of boyfriends, and I lived in other places because we shared our father's wealth and riches, and and then I finally got a man who loved me, who was nice and kind, and he married me, and we had children together. Because with one of my other boyfriends, he wanted children, but it was not easy, and I was just telling him we are not yet really married as well. So I got another boyfriend, and he married me, and we had 4 children together, and then we adopted some more. We had 8 children. We adopted some more children. King Jesus Christ came to live with us because if I finally found my brother again, and then I told him, who was King Jesus Christ, I told him to come and live with us. So he came to live with us to help me with the children because they were a bit of a problem because I think at that time my husband had died. So I think he came when he was still there, but he was not feeling well. He had had an accident, and then he died. And then I lived with King Jesus Christ and our 8 children. And then we decided to open an orphanage. So we got an orphanage in America. We're still in America. And then after the orphanage, we were looking after the street kids, children from the streets who did not have parents, orphans, and we gave them shelter. So we needed money to look after them. We still had a bit, but we ended up, struggling a bit, and we decided we can have donations from people, and some people ended up donating to our organization. So we built a very big orphanage and shelter at that time. So after that, we had a few other things that we did in America for a few other years, and we met people like Martin Luther King and people like that. And then we decided we wanted to come to the United Kingdom. So we came to the United Kingdom, and we found our father here. We're very happy. We met him with the royals. He was living with the royals. So the royals also gave us accommodation, me and King Jesus Christ, to live somewhere in the south. So after that, we helped to build UK a little bit, because UK had already been established. Most of the buildings already existed before the World War One, and we just built a few more buildings with my brother. And I decided to leave him here in the UK, and I think he was going to Israel later. But then I decided to go to France, because my mother was the Queen of France. So I went to live in France with my mother and my father. My father was the King of France. So I lived with them, and then there was the Jewish, the Jewish persecution, the Holocaust, the Jewish persecution. So the Holocaust. So yes, I was part of it, because I was a Jewish, and I was partly Jewish as well. So I was persecuted, and then after that, I met a German man. So this German man fell in love with me, and he just said he could rescue me. And he arranged with my mother that she could rescue me from the Holocaust. So he saved me, from the beatings and the killings that was going on. And then I married him. I got married to this German man, and we had 2 children. And then my father died, and then my mother died again after some time, and she left me. She wanted me to be the queen, because I was the eldest amongst her children. So she wanted me to be the queen, and well, I tried to be the queen, but the process in France was very, very difficult. It was a long process for me for everything to be transferred into my name, the documents. So I didn't become the queen as such, because I left when everything, they were just about to inaugurate me as a queen, but I decided no, I want to live for Israel. I wanted to go and meet my brother King Jesus Christ in Israel. So I went to Israel, and I left my children the riches, the palace, and everything that my mother had left for me, my children in France. And then I went to Israel. And in Israel, we had a nice time. We used to live with Mary, King Jesus Christ, and my brother Lazarus, and my sister Martha. And we're very happy. We're very, very happy there. And then Then I was called Mary then, like the Mary you read about in the Bible sometimes, Martha's sister. And then afterwards, I used to visit King Jesus Christ, and we would talk, and when he was going to preach, he would leave me with his mother, and I'll look after his mother. And she was a very beautiful lady. She everything she did was so nice. So I would help her around the home when King Jesus Christ was preaching, and afterwards when he was back, I would leave, or sometimes even before he was back, I would leave and go back to my home where I used to live with my brother and sister. So and then in Israel, uh, King Jesus Christ was crucified, and I was crucified after King Jesus Christ, because they were saying you can't be his sister. You are not at all his sister. And I used to tell them I'm King Jesus Christ's sister. So they crucified me, and I went back to heaven. So I was taken back to heaven. So I went back to heaven after I had been crucified. And then King Jesus Christ found me a family to live in Zimbabwe. And that's where my mother Jasmine comes in, my mother Jasmine Materike. So then he gave me my mother Jasmine Materike so that I could help her, because she showed us my mother was praying. So we saw her praying. She was praying for children. She was pregnant with my first sister, her firstborn, my eldest sister, her firstborn, my sister Joyce. She was praying for many children, including the one that was still in her tummy. So so I was sent to her to help her, especially with my brother Timothy, because she was struggling with my brother Timothy, the one that comes before me. So I was put in the Mtamiri family, and I was very happy to be a Mtamiri. So this is how I became a Zimbabwean, and now I'm a Zimbabwean and French. I love you very much. May God bless you. Amen.